UFC London Evloev versus Murphy is upon us, guys. But the way that they ordered this card, like honestly speaking, it got me shook. It makes no sense. Just take a look. I'm in a rage. It's hard to gauge. They ripped off Page like they hate the book. Yeah. They really ripped off Venom Page though. Like they ripped off Page. Like they ripped it off, brother. I don't understand. Outside of the Venom Page placement, this card's like, it's one of those cards you do this shit with. Like you do one of these. Like I could rock with this one. I could rock on. I could cowabunga max with this one. In the main card, I don't want to say I'm gonna go 100%, but I'm gonna go. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go 100% on the main card. As for these fights, oh yeah, man, these fights are badass. First of all, this fight, like I was losing sleep over, like anticipating how entertaining it's gonna be. We got Melissa Mullins. We got Lona Caroline. And you guys want me to answer this 100% honestly? I don't even know the odds for this one. I've seen Melissa Mullins fight. She's not bad for a WMMA fighter. I haven't seen much of Luana Carolina, but one thing I could say about this, you guys do remember that one card that I said all the Canadians are going to win or something? I forgot what, it was all the Mexicans or something. I was right about that to an extent. This card, I think almost all the English fighters are going to win. From what I know about Melissa London, she's going to come in there. She's going to have some good hands. If she needs to mix it in, she will mix in the wrestling pretty well. So that's already a plus in WMMA. Luana Caroline's going to go in there and strike. Her takedown defense is not the greatest at 68%. I think it's an easy win for Melissa Mullins. So I'm going to pick Melissa Mullins in this one. It's just going to be one of those things where like the English fighter gets giving somebody who's just not all that. And it's roses and bubbles. So I'm going Melissa at Mullins for the win in that one. Speaking of like English fighters who are supposed to go in there and dominate, Chanel Dyer, she might be one of the biggest favorites in the card from what I know. She is 0-1. She is making her debut in the UFC. But this woman, for a woman, she hits hard and she hits a lot. She throws her hands a lot. She's going to be active in the hands. Ravena Oliveira, she has Oliveira in her name, but she's not a great grappler. Like she has Oliveira in her name, but she's not known for her grappling. She doesn't even shoot that much, and she just trigger shy in the feed. Like she's gonna stand there like this, kind of mannequin challenge maxing. That's a bar. I know people remember mannequin challenge. I'm not that old. I know I'm not that old. I feel like I was a kid doing that. The mannequin challenge. Little ones know what I'm talking about. But yeah, you're not going to mannequin challenge max against Chanel Dyer and get a win. I think Chanel Dyer is going to go in there. She's going to let her hands go. And she's going to make her UFC debut the right way. Another WMA fight. We don't really care, but Chanel Dyer gets it done for England. Shamrock versus Abdul Karim Al-Sawabi. Now, Selwady, I remember I picked up his last fight and he disappointed me. Shamrock, actually, he lost his last fight, guys, but he gained aura even though he lost, if that makes sense. Because he went in, and I counted him out that fight. Remember, I thought it was going to be an easy loss for him. But he goes in there, he loses, but he makes it very competitive. I think it was against Khabib's doppelganger, Nurulio Aliev. Shamrock did good against him. Like, Shamrock was doing a good job stuffing the takedowns, forcing it to be standing, and then outpointing him on the feet. Now, the thing about Abdul Karim, like, he's going to shoot some takedowns. It's not like his central game plan, though, but he is going to shoot when he feels like he needs to. But I'm not worried about Shamrock getting taken down and controlled after seeing what he did against Aliev. Shamrock can strike. It's a little bit unorthodox, but I do think he can strike. I think he's a slight underdog in this one, but I still favor him, actually, to beat Abdul Karim. I respect, Karim. I believe this guy Palestinian. I could be wrong. I think he is, though. But I do think Shamrock's going to get it done via just being a little bit too much for Zahabi on the feet. And Zahabi, sometimes, since he's usually a shorter guy at lightweight at like 5'8", sometimes he has trouble finding his distance and understanding like his distance management. So he kind of like overextends himself. And I feel like Shamrock could just take advantage of it. So yeah, although Shamrock's coming off a loss, I do think I expected Aliev to smoke Shamrock more than he did. So when I seen how good he looked, I was like, you know what? This guy's maybe not too shabby. So I do think Shamrock can make it difficult for Abdul Karim and get the win. This is going to be a close one. If I don't go 100%, it might come back to this one. But again, we're gonna back the English fighter for this one. So screw it, man. Shamrock for the win. All right, next up, Mario Pinto versus Felipe Franco. Now, Franco's making his debut. Here's the thing about him, though. Like, Felipe Franco, from what I've seen, he's, like, heavy-handed. I don't know what promotion he was fighting on, but he's very heavy-handed from the highlights I watched. And he makes in takedowns when he feels the need to. He says he has 6 averages. Maybe on Dana White Contender Series, he shot a lot more. But, yeah, he actually doesn't strike me as a wrestle first. But if he is more of a wrestler than I even from the footage I saw. It's going to be tough against him, against Pinto, because Pinto has been pretty hard to take down from what I've seen. And Pinto's not even great, but he has heavy hands as well. So these are two heavy-handed individuals, you know, two big dudes. But Pinto's 6'6", man. Portugal, brother. Strong, a little bit scary. And if you're going to go in there and try to take him down, you better be great at grappling. But from what I saw Felipe Franco, he could take people down, but it's nothing crazy. And heavyweight, like, he's not one of those grapplers you got to be worried about. Like, I'm going to say he's not Jolton Almeida. Now, I know that's not even a positive thing to say nowadays. Oh, he's not Jolton Almeida. Who cares? But at least Almeida could take most people down and, like, control them, doing nothing with the control. Felipe, the way he shoots is a little bit like, I don't know, man. You might be using your size a bit. And I just think Pinto's a big guy. He's a tall guy, and he has a good reach on him. He's just hard to land on clean, and he does a good job fighting his way to win. Like, he fights his way to win usually. So I'm going to go Mario Pinto for this one. I don't know the odds, but I do favor Pinto in that one. All right, next up, Mantas Kondratavicius. Hey, Shiba. I fucked that up. But, guys, let me just tell you the unwritten rule. If you win your Dana White Contender Series fight, if you're making a UFC debut, and you're put against Trocoli, first of all, if you're a real MMA fan, you know what that means. You know it means, okay, congratulations to Mantas for the win. That's what it is now. I don't care what anyone says. If you're making your debut and had like a decent win on Dana White Contender Series, this is what you need to know. You're going to go in there and you're probably going to win. And once you understand that, then I feel like it's all good. So Mantas should go in there and win. From what I saw from him, he actually is pretty good. He has heavy hands. He can mix in the wrestling pretty well. I do think he's going to be too much for Trocoli, who's kind of always in there to lose. Trocoli's like gets paid to lose, I believe so. Or he just shows up for a paycheck. Either way, he's going to lose because he got paid to lose. I don't know how much he slide him under the table, you know, for money. But Trocoli's going to go in there with his 6'5" frame, do absolutely nothing with it. Probably play the long game. You know, probably try to teep and act like he's trying to win using his length. And then Mantas would grab a hold of him, probably take him down, smash him up a little bit. So give me Mantas for the win. He's going to school Trocoli. He's going to be easy pickings. The Lithuanian. All right. Now, I said almost every English fighter is going to win. The reason I said almost because Louis Sutherland. He's just like a ball of tense fucking fury, bro. He's going to go in there and he's going to lose. He's going to lose to Brando Pericic. I hope I said that right. Probably said it wrong. This Aussie guy, I actually remember watching him. He's actually really good at striking. Like, his striking surprised me for his size. He throws good kicks. He has good knees up the middle. His striking is really good. He's active, man. He's active. So I do think it's a hard fight for Louis Sutherland to go against. I feel like he's going to go in there like a big ball of rage he is, and he's just going to be too big and clawby to do much. You know, I don't even know how Louis Sutherland got into the UFC. I don't know. He looked decent in the promotional scenes, but even then he looked kind of sloppy to me. I think Brando goes in there and literally schools him. So I'm going Brando for the win on that one. All right, this one's interesting. We got Nathaniel Wood versus Lerone Keita. Now, Keita is the favorite, of course. You know, we don't have much on him on the UFC because he's making his debut. He's great. He was like a double champ in a different promotion, I believe. Or he was good in a different promotion, guys. I watched some footage of him. He's all right. Like, he has good forward pressure. He's heavy-handed. He's a lot to deal with. I don't think he's going to beat Nathaniel Wood. I don't. Like, he does swing wildly, but he's so open when he swings. I feel like Nathaniel Wood is seasoned. Like, he's a little bit too seasoned to just go in there and just school him like that. You know? And, yeah, you do hit hard and stuff, but, like, Nathaniel Wood, he's not crazy with his takedown attempts, but he will shoot some takedowns and, like get control of the situation if he gets flustered. Keita's not bad. I've seen him get taken down a bit, but on the feet with Keita, the only problem is he does swing hard. You know, it's kind of like he's like a better Bolaji Oki, in my opinion, a way better run. He comes out, swings hard, doesn't fatigue as badly, but I do think Nathaniel Wood's UFC experience should actually get him the win in this one. You know, Nathaniel Wood has been in there. You know, he's not the tallest guy, about 5'6", you know, but I feel like he uses his weapons well. Like, he knows himself, so he knows how to fight. But Nathaniel Wood has went in there and shit the bed sometimes, gets caught with something big and kind of gets flustered. But I do think Nathaniel Wood, if he keeps a level head, he should go in there and upset the debutant. So give me Nathaniel Wood beating the 16-1 Lerone Keita, who's good, but I'm going against him for this one. I think Nathaniel Wood is the better fighter. So that might surprise some people, but brother, it's not about being surprised or not surprised. I didn't do crazy footage on this. I just watched a couple of their fights, and I was like, you know what? Nathaniel Wood got him. So I'm going the English fighter for this one, and I think he's going to get it done against Keita, who is good, but maybe not good enough at the UFC level. That's what we've been finding out about a lot of these guys coming into the UFC. Mason Jones versus Axel Sola. This is another interesting one. Axel Sola in his last fight against Rise McKee, like, he got the late finish, I believe, in the third, but he made McKee look so much better than he is. Like, Axel Sola, like, I've noticed he actually has good weapons. He has a good straight down the pipe. He has good low kicks. He gets flustered a lot when you pressure him. Like, when you pressure him, he kind of, like, doesn't know what to do. Mason Jones is consistently on the pressure, but Mason Jones is also not that crazy of a fighter to me. Like, he's tough. He's durable. He almost nearly died against, I think it was Oki or something, Dolidze Oki in the first round. He nearly died in there, but he came back, showed resilience. So he has a chin, which, you know, Axel Sola is like, he's a little bit too tentative for me to pick him confidently. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he doesn't like to let his hands go, like, unless he's 100% sure and confident himself. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think that's a bad thing. I think that does more harm than good. That being said, I think my gut's telling me Mason Jones. I think he's going to know how to use his complete repertoire to go in there and kind of outwork Sola. And if it gets into a dogfight, I know Mason Jones can be in a dogfight. You know, Sola, like, he got a little bit flustered by McKee. He made McKee look like a dog, man. I just don't believe McKee's that great. Maybe McKee got better. I don't know. But I am going to go Mason Jones, who might be the underdog for this one. But I'm going Jones to upset Sola a bit. All right. Out of the prelims into the main card. Curtis Campbell versus Danny Silva. Curtis Campbell's a grappler primarily, and Dana White Contender Series went in there, showed his grappling, and looked really good. Kind of mauled the guy. Danny Silva, he's not bad. He had a fight with Kevin Vallejos I watched back. That was a pretty good fight. He kind of just took shots and tried to give it back. Danny Silva's a dog, but, like, his grappling is the only thing I'm a little bit worried about because I know Curtis Campbell's going to try to go in there and do that. I'm going to say this right now. Curtis Campbell's grappling is good, but he's not that impressive overall, man. His striking looks a little bit dumb. He's not that good to me, dude. He's really not. He's really not. But Danny Silva is like one of those fighters. I don't know if I'm confident enough in his striking and how he just approaches fights, dude. Like, yes, he lets his hands go a bit, but it's the grappling for me. Like, I saw him get his back taken in one of the fights I was watching that pretty easily. He does defend takedowns well, you know. And if Curtis Campbell can't take him down, he's not going to win the fight, in my opinion. And the thing is, oh, dude, this is tough because I do want to pick against Curtis Campbell, but I feel like it's a stupid thing to do because, like, yes, if he gets the fight down, I think he's going to win. Like, his transitions and his, like, the way he was moving through guards, like, you know he's a really good grappler. You know, his offensive wrestling, I can't really gauge it too much. You know, I can't really gauge it too much. You know, Danny Silva has an 80% takedown defense, you know, so maybe that could help him here. But I'm just going to go the safe pick here in Curtis Campbell, all right? I don't think he's that good, but I think he's good enough to beat Danny Silva, who's just not that, you know, they try to give him a cookie for his debut. So I respect that. He's debuting in front of his home crowd. I think Curtis Campbell gets it done. These English fighters, they're a little bit crazy, brother. They'll know how to get the win. Roman Dolidze versus CLD. This is easy pickings. That's the first thing I saw when I thought this fight. I think CLD torches him. CLD's too athletic on the feet. His striking's too much. Dolidze is nothing but a punching bag. Dolidze goes in there and has competitive fights with Marv Victoria and shit. Like, this guy's just not good. Got schooled by Brennan. Was it Brennan? No, got schooled by Anthony Hernandez. Badly. Yeah, I just don't rate him. I'm sorry, I don't rate Dolidze. He's kind of shit to me. Like, nothing he does is really good to me. I think CLD is just a lot better. So I'm going to get CLD for this one. I think CLD is going to just use his athleticism and land the cleaner strikes. And yeah, I think Dolidze gets finished. I think CLD knocks him out. CLD's good. Even when he's gassed himself out, he's not too bad. And CLD's endurance looked good his last fight. I think CLD's going to school Dolidze horribly. All right, next up, we got Iwo Barenswiski. I said that name so wrong that I should get arrested, dude. That was such a bad butcher, you know. Versus Austin Lane. Austin Lane's like so bad, but he shows moments in how bad he is. Austin Lane is not that good, but he shows that, like, I'm not that bad, you know. I was crazy. The kid's a dog. One of it, he had like fight of the year. I don't know what. I don't even know who it was against. I'm having bad memory, but he went in there. He got hurt. He did the damage. The fight could have been stopped either time for both fighters there, but Iwo fought through it, and Iwo he fought through the fire. And Iwo's ability to fight through the fire, it might be necessary against Austin Lane, because Austin Lane's 6'6", he's very lanky, so you might have to take some to get inside. Pause. But I think Iwo is the type to take some. Okay, what's going on? Iwo's going to take some damage, all right? Let's say it like that. And he's going to go inside. He's going to bring the fight. I think Iwo gets it done. Let me just say that. I think Iwo gets it done. I think Austin Lane is, like, he's dangerous for the first, like, 2-3 minutes. He kind of smooths out after that, and he's kind of chinny at times. So I'm going to go Iwo for this one. He's just too much of a dog for him. The Polish fighter for the win. Sam Patterson versus Michael Venom Page. This fight just felt random for me. We got two 6'3" welterweights who are kind of thinner in their frames. You know, MVP has fought at middleweight. MVP's going back down to welterweight. MVP taking this fight doesn't make sense, but no one else wants to fight him. He nearly beat Ian Gary. He nearly beat him. He only lost because of grappling. But since that Ian Gary fight, his grappling looks very improved than Jared Cannonier fight. I thought Cannonier was actually going to have way more success against MVP, but MVP's defensive grappling looked a lot better. And I know people might be like, oh, the outlier in this one's defensive grappling. Sam Patterson won't be strong enough to take down MVP. And if he does take him down, he's not going to submit MVP. MVP's submission defense has been pretty good. I think Ian Gary's a pretty good BJJ practitioner, defending all his chokes. When Cannonier did get him on the ground, he couldn't really get anything going. MVP's just good at defending stuff when he is on the ground. He's not the best at getting up, but even getting him down now seems like a hassle, especially after his fight with Jared Cannonier. MVP's clearly a better striker than Sam Patterson. He's going to have Sam Patterson looking very foolish on the feet, guys. I just think MVP's going to school him. This might be the easiest pick on the card. They're all just so close for this one, so this is a steal. Like, I actually have a duo parlay, a two-leg parlay that I'm going to hammer, and I'm going to tell you guys at the end of the video. And I'm going to hammer it, man. I am. And MVP is a part of it. MVP is going to school Sam Patterson. These odds are a little bit too close. Patterson's good. In some of his fights, he keeps his chin really high, gets rocked. Just keeping your chin high against MVP. It's not good. Like, it's not good thing. Keep chin high against Michael Venom Page. Why you do this, brother? Like, this is like asking to get your face like overhand in. MVP's just really good at just being out of range and then jumping into range. Could be interesting because I could say it could be interesting because of length, but he already went against Ian Gary, who's a better, longer striker. Ian Gary's just a way better version of Sam Patterson. Better striking, better distance management, better grappling, better looking. I had to say that. Sam Patterson's just fucking, look at him, bro. Fucking look at the guy. You're going to get destroyed by the 40-year-old MVP. Thank God about MVP style. Like, the good thing about it, it's like, it's ageless. You could do that style till you're 45. So I don't really got to worry too much about age when I pick MVP fights, which is why I said to everyone he was going to school Shara, and no one believed me until after the fight. He's going to school Sam Patterson. I think MVP gets it done very easily. He may not even knock him out. So I'm going MVP by KO or points. Next up, Luke Riley versus Michael Aswell Jr. I don't think Luke Riley's that good. I just want to start off by saying that. I'm just not really impressed by him. You know, he has power. I'll give him that. Michael Aswell is not great either. So if Michael Aswell is actually someone decent, I would think about maybe going his direction. But Aswell's had, like, he's you never know what you're going to get from him. What I do know from him, sometimes his defensive grappling's a little bit shit, you know. It's not like Luke Riley's going to shoot against him, but I don't know. If Michael Aswell's like sat down in his punches more, I'd be more confident, but he doesn't sit down in his punches. Luke Riley doesn't even throw much in the first start of any fight. Like, he kind of just sits there and tries to find the range. It leads to him getting outpointed. I did think Bogdan was going to school him, and I was right until I wasn't, you know, because Luke Riley found a shot that clipped him. So Luke Riley must have power, you know. And Michael Aswell went against Dolidze Oki. He lost on points to Oki, which is kind of crazy because Oki's known for fatiguing. But he ate some crazy shots from Oki. This one, I don't know what's going to happen in this fight. But I'll tell you guys this. The odds for this fight, don't put Luke Riley on any parlay. I've warned you already, so don't do it. It's just not safe for a parlay. Michael Aswell could take a shot. Luke Riley doesn't throw that much, but when he does land on you, like, people look like they get hurt. You know, he's 12-0 for a reason, but he's just not that good. And I feel like everything's telling me to pick against him, but I just don't want to. I just don't want to. Because Michael Aswell just didn't impress me. Like, he'll wait for you to throw and he'll come back with like 4 or 5 punches. But even when he does that, like, there's no sting on them. You know? Oh, he could definitely upset him, man. He could definitely upset Luke Riley, who's just not that good is the thing. That's my only concern. Like, I could snipe an underdog pick here, but I could really, like, Luke Riley's just not good, man. But he shocked me. Like, him knocking out Bogdan, he must have some power. Because I never seen Bogdan go out cold like that. So, fuck it, man. Luke Riley, he's kind of sharp with some of his counters. I'll go Luke Riley. You know, it's closer than the odds say, though. I'll tell you that much. I'm telling you, don't put Luke Riley on any parlays. I'm just going to warn you. I know it seems like I should be picking against him with everything I'm saying. But I do think he's a little bit sharp. I just think it's going to be a lot harder than the odds make it out to be. I think he might be one of the biggest favorites on the card, and it's just not warranted because he's not that great. All right, main event in the evening. We got Muvsar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy. I don't know. The pictures aren't loading. Let's reset it. Whatever, it's never going to load. So while it's taking its time to load, let me just say something real quick. Muvsar Evloev was supposed to be fighting for the title, Lord knows how long now. Same with Lerone Murphy kind of, though, recently. And Lerone Murphy's been winning. You know, his win against Josh Emmett, I suppose, is not aging the best because Vallejo's made it look easy. But Lerone's going to have his game plan of, I don't want to say running, but he's going to be low kicking, circling. He's going to be trying to touch him and move. I will say this, though. Lerone Murphy's win against, the spinning elbow knockout against, why am I even blinking lately? The spinning knockout elbow against that guy who was supposed to be booked against Monster. Everyone's hyping up. I know his face, but I'm forgetting his name. What is his name? No, I don't want to look it up. I want to remember this. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Lerone Murphy, he knocked out somebody by the, no, we're going to get this. He knocked out Aaron Pico. Yeah. Oh, man. I knew it. I knew I could get it. I knew it. Aaron Pico. That was lucky. That was one of the luckiest knockouts I've ever seen in my life. He just wasn't like, dude, like, get out of here. Bro, you were so flustered. You got panicked, which leads me to believe this is going to be a pretty easy win. Both guys undefeated, 19-0, 17-0. I think Movsar's striking is actually criminally underrated. Like, I think it's underrated. I think people don't understand, like, how tricky Movsar is actually on the feet. He has good straights, good power. He was kind of tagging up Aaron Allen on the feet a bit, you know. And then it's obviously the takedowns, man, the wrestling threat, man. Now, Lerone hasn't really went against someone like Movsar as far as the wrestling is concerned, outside of Pico. And just Pico had him so flustered because he was so worried about it. You know, he was just so flustered. So it's almost like he was doing a lot, you know. And Lerone only has a 50% takedown defense. Like, he's not that hard to take down on paper. He really isn't. I see Movsar taking him down and opening up. I think Movsar can actually finish him with ground and pound. You know, Movsar's a ground and pound first grappler. He's not a submission first grappler. Submission first grapplers like Hamza and Islam have the chance to have boring fights. There's a reason Movsar has never had a boring fight in his life, because if he does take you down, he's going to kind of pound your face in. You know, him versus Aljo was a classic example of ground and pound grappler versus a positional submission grappler. So every time Aljo was controlling Movsar, he wouldn't land anything. He was always like kind of looking for position, or maybe even not really. He didn't even look for submissions, to be honest. Aljo was just trying to hold him. And then every time Movsar had control of Aljo, he would try to hurt him, you know, try to land some shots. So that's why Movsar is one of the most entertaining fighters. People are going to say he's boring because no one actually ever watched his fights, you know. So you could casual check someone by asking him, is Movsar boring? If they say, yeah, he's boring. Say that with Armin or Movsar. If they say they're boring, just know they haven't watched any of their fights. You're just speaking from a place of hate. That's an easy way to find a casual. But yeah, I think Movsar is going to take down Lerone and open up his face pretty easily. I'd be surprised if Lerone sees the final bell. All that being said, Movsar for the easy win. For the dual parlay, I'm going to say this once, so listen, guys. Movsar, Michael Venom Page. Yes, you could go CLD as well. Put as much as you can. Just put as much as you can. I ain't gonna say an amount. I might go 5 to 8, 500 to 8 on that. But do what you gotta do. But when you do make it, just say, okay, Kenny, thank you for the money. I'll tell you that. But let me know what you guys think about UFC London. That's it for my predictions. Have a good one. God bless. 2, 3, 4.